My name is Nandita Goyal. I am working as Assistant Professor in Department of Information Technology at ABS Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Today I will be covering the topic lattices. So to start with the lecture, we will be discussing these topics. First I will be discussing what is the meaning of least upper bound, which is known as LUB, then greatest upper bound, that is GLB, lattices, and then I will take a few examples of lattices. Now when we talk about least upper bound, we also call it as LUB or join or suprema. Now what exactly it is? Now we have a poset A comma R, and for A comma B that belong to A, if there exists an element C that belongs to A such that, now we have a set A which contains elements A comma B, and we can define a third element C with this condition, that is A is related with C and B is related with C. We can call C as the least upper bound. Other than this, there can be a second condition if there exists an other element D such that A is related with D and B is related with D, and then we can say that C is also related with D. In this case also C is going to be the least upper bound for A and B. So to find out the least upper bounds, the simplest method is to draw the poset diagram for the given poset, and then from there we can find out that whether there exists a least upper bound or not. So it is not necessary that LUB always exists. It may be the case that LUB exists or LUB may not exist. So I have taken the example of set S, which is having the elements 5, set with element A, set with element B, and set with element A comma B, where the relation is subset. So we have drawn the poset diagram for this. That is 5 is related with set A, with set B, and transitively with set A comma B. There is no relation between A and B, but A is related with AB and B is also related with AB. So now we want to find out that whether an LUB exists for any two pair of elements in this poset diagram or not. So let's take the example of A and B. If I take the example of A and B, now see, this element A is related with C. C can be the element A comma B. Then B is also related with AB. So this becomes your C. That is the condition 1. And from condition 1 we can say that C is going to be your least upper bound. So for A and B, least upper bound is going to be AB. Okay. Now let's take another example, that is phi and A. Now for phi and A, I want to find out the least upper bound. So see, phi is related with A, and then A itself is related with A because it is going to be a reflexive relation as it is a poset. So phi is related with A and A itself is related with A. So we have A, which is your least upper bound. Now we can also say that phi is also related with AB and A is also related with AB, but this becomes your D. That is the second condition, that if you have a C and if you also have an element D, in that case also C remains your least upper bound. So here again A will remain the least upper bound for phi and A. Similarly, if I go for phi and B, phi is related with B, okay, and B is also related with B. So B is going to be LUB. If you take any other two elements like A and AB, now A is related with AB, AB is also related with AB, so AB is going to be the least upper bound for A and AB. If I take B and AB, B is related with AB, AB is related with itself, so again AB is going to be least upper bound. So for this example, this is a standard example where S is actually a power set and the relation defined as subset. So we can also say that the LUB can be found directly by finding out the union of the two given elements. Now see, when we were talking about A and this element B, and I wanted to find out the LUB, I just take the union of these two. That will come out to be AB, and that is the element which is in the diagram. If I take phi and A and I take the union of these two, I will get A. So this is again giving the same results as we had found by applying these identities. So for this example, which is a standard example, we can take the union for finding out LUB. Now the second example is we have a set A which contains these 5 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the relation is less than equal to. So in this case, if you take any 2 elements, like I take 1 and 2. So 1 is related with 2, 2 is related with itself. So 2 is going to be the least upper bound. You take any 2 elements 1 and 3. So 3 is going to be your least upper bound. So the simplest way, this is again one of the standard examples in which we take a set A with relation as less than equal to, and here whenever you want to find out the LUB, you can just take the max of the 2 numbers. Like if I want to find out the LUB for 1, 2, 2 is going to be the LUB. 1, 4, 4 is going to be the LUB. So this is just the method through which you can find out the LUB, but this is applicable only for this type of example, that is where the relation is less than equal to and the set is given. Now we will take another example, D18. D18 with division as the operation. So this is the poset diagram. D18 will contain the elements 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 and 18. So now I want to find out the LUB for 2 and 3. Now the LUB for 2 and 3 is going to be 6. 2 is related with 6, 3 is related with 6. Here we again have a D. This is C, and if we take 18 as D, so again C is your least upper bound. So for 2 and 3 the least upper bound is going to be 6. For 1 and 2 least upper bound is going to be 2. For 1 and 3 least upper bound is going to be 3. For 6 and 9 least upper bound is going to be 18. So we can either apply the properties, or whenever we have a standard example like this, that is we have a set like D18, D10 and we have division as operation. So you can directly take the LCM of the 2 numbers. This will give you LUB. So if I take 2 and 3 over here, what will be the LCM of 2 and 3? 6, and 6 is present. So we can say that there exists an LUB, that is 6. Similarly, if we take 3 and 9, what is going to be the LCM of 3 and 9? 9. So 9 will be the LUB. Similarly, 6 and 9. What is going to be the LCM of 6 and 9? It is going to be 18, and 18 is the LUB. So this is again a method through which you can find out the LUBs for this particular type of example. Now next we will be talking about greatest lower bound. This greatest lower bound is also known as NEAT or GLB. Now first we will move with the definition. Let A comma R be a poset for A comma B that belongs to A. If there exists an element C such that C is related with A and C is related with B, then we can say that C is going to be your greatest lower bound. And the second condition is if there exists any other element D such that D is related with A, D is related with B, then D is related with C and C is called the GLB of A and B. So again I have taken the same 3 examples. Now see, I have a set A with less than equal to operation. I have the elements 1, 2, 3 and 4. So now if I talk about greatest lower bound for this 1 and 2. So for 1 and 2, now you can see that this 1 is related with 1, 1 is related with 2, so it becomes C. That is the first property, and 1 becomes your GLB. Similarly, if I talk about 1 and 3, 1 is related with 1, 1 is related with 3. So 1 becomes your GLB. So anyway I take this, I can find out what is going to be my GLB. But the simplest way, if I have this less than relation and I want to find out GLB, you can find out the minimum of the 2 numbers. Like 1 and 2, the minimum is 1. 1 and 3, minimum is 1. 2 and 4, minimum is 2. So this is your GLB. Now let's take the next example, that is set S with elements phi, A, B, AB and the operation subset. Now if I want to find out the GLB for this A and B, see, now this phi is related with A, phi is related with B. So it satisfies the first property, that is phi is going to be your GLP. Similarly, if I take phi and A, phi is related with itself, phi is related with A. So phi is going to be GLP. So this is the way through which we can find out. But for this type of example, again we can use intersection if the relation is subset and you are already given with the power set. So you just take the intersection. Now see, if I take the intersection of A and B, what will I get? I will get phi. So phi is your GLP. Similarly, if I take the intersection of A and AB, the intersection is A and A is your GLP. So this is one of the standard examples, and in this, if you want to find out GLP, you can take the intersection as well. Now talking about the third example, that is D18 with divides relation. I have elements 1, 2, 3, 6, 18 and 9. Now if I take the two elements, that is 2 and 3. Now 1 is related with 2, 1 is related with 3. So 1 is going to be your GLP. Similarly, if I talk about 2 and 6, 2 is related with 2 and 2 is related with 6. So 2 is going to be GLP. If we talk about 6 and 9, 6 and 9. So, 6 and 9, what will be the GLP of 6 and 9? It will be 3. So for this type of examples, if you want to find the GLP where you have D18, D10 and you have this divides relation, you can directly find out the GCD. You take the GCD. Like for 2 and 3, if I take the GCD, it comes out to be 1. So you can say that 1 is your GLP for this. So this is how we can find out the LUB and GLP. Now coming to the main topic, that is lattice. Now we have studied this GLP and LUB to come to the concept of lattices. Now these lattices are of three types. First is the joint semilattice, second one is meet semilattice, and third one is the lattice. Now see, if there exists LUB for every pair of elements in a poset, for every pair there is a LUB, then we can say that it is a joint semilattice. If for every pair of elements there exists a GLB, we can say that it is a meet semilattice. And if for every pair there exists a LUB as well as GLB, we can say that it is a complete lattice. So for this we will take some examples. Example 1, set A contains elements 1, 2, 3, 4 and the relation is less than equal to. So this is the poset diagram. We already know that for this particular example, if I want to find out the LUB, so LUB becomes your maximum number and GLB will become your minimum number. So for any two pair of elements, there exists a LUB as well as there exists a GLB. We can take any two elements. So what we can say, that it is a lattice. Since there exists a GLB as well as LUB for every pair of elements, it is a lattice. Now this example 2, it has the elements A, 1, 2, 3, then the relation is divide. Now see, when we are talking about the divides relation, there will be only GLB which will exist for each pair of elements. LUB will not exist. Why? You can see the pair 3, 4. Okay. So 3, 4, then for 3, 4 the LUB will be 12 and the set is only till 10. So we can say that there exists only GLB for every pair of elements, so it is a meet semilattice. Now next example we have S that contains A, B, AB and subset is the relation. So here again if I want to find out GLB, I have to find out the intersection. So if I find out the intersection of A and B, it should be 5, which is not in the set. So I can say that GLB does not exist for every pair. For A and B it doesn't exist. So it doesn't satisfy the first condition. Then we'll check for LUB. LUB will be union. If I take any two elements, the union is present over here. So we can say that LUB for every pair of elements exists. And since LUB exists, GLB doesn't exist, so it is a joint semilattice. So this is the basic difference between a meet semilattice, joint semilattice and lattice. So thank you. That was all from my side for today.